Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show, the late night show with KTN with Baakh Pirzada. ऐं तव्हांखे भलीकार कयूं पिया हिकिड़े नए प्रोग्राम सां गॾु. मूंखे ॾिसी तव्हांखे फील थियो हूंदो त सियारा अची विया आहिनि, काथे बर्फ़बारी थी पए पई, छो त असांजो जेको हिकिड़ो कैमरामैन आहे न उन मूंखे ईअं चयो अॼु भला बर्फ़बारी थी पए छा मैडम, पर मूंखे त ॾाढो सीउ पियो थिए छो त सियारा अची विया आहिनि. ऐं सिंध में जेके सियारा आहिनि न एॾा प्यारा थींदा आहिनि ऐं हिन सियारनि जो मूंखे त ॾाढो बेसब्री सां इंतज़ारु हूंदो आहे ऐं उमेदु आहे त जेके असांखे ॾिसंदड़ आहिनि से बि सियारनि खे इंजॉय पिया कनि. सुठो पलीअ जो साग थींदो आहे, चांवरनि जी मानी बिह ठहंदा आहिनि ऐं वरी नाश्ते में बुसरीअ जो नाश्तो थींदो आहे. सो इहे जेके असांजी सिंधी सकाफ़ती खाधा आहिनि इहे एॾा ख़ूबसूरत आहिनि. ऐं सियारे सां वाबस्ता जेके सब्जियूं थियनि थियूं सियारे में उहे एॾियूं सुठियूं ऐं हेल्दी आहिनि त माण्हू माना हेल्दी बि रहे थो ऐं सुठो खाधो बि खाए थो, मौसम खे बि इंजॉय करे थो ऐं सुठा कपिड़ा बि सियारे सां वाबस्ता जेके सुठा सुठा कपिड़ा माण्हू वठनि था, पाइनि था, इंजॉय कनि था. सो ॾाढा ख़ूबसूरत जीअं चइबो आहे न सॼे साल में महिमान थी करे सियारो ईंदो आहे असां वटि सिंध में ऐं असांखे बिल्कुलु महिमाननि वांगुरु असां हुनखे उअं ई आजीअं कंदा आहियूं जीअं महिमाननि जी कंदा आहियूं, छो त सिंधी त महिमान नवाज़ आहिनि हूअं ई शुरू खां वठी. सो तव्हां बि मूंखे ॿुधाइजो, फीडबैक ॾिजो, कमेंट में ॾिजो त तव्हां सियारे खे कीअं इंजॉय कंदा आहियो. ऐं जॾहिं ज़ाहिरा ॻोठनि में वरी मच थींदा आहिनि, सो मच वेबो आहे, मच ॿारबो आहे, मच कचहरी थींदी आहे. सो इहे जेके महफ़िलूं आहिनि इहे सिंधी जेको पंहिंजो असांजो रहण जो तरीक़ो आहे न इहो मां सम्झंदी आहियां एॾो मोहबत वारो आहे, एॾो प्यारो आहे जो इन मां असांखे ॾाढी मोहबत ऐं पंहिंजाइप जो अहसासु थिए थो. असांजे प्रोग्राम में जीअं त असां विमेन एम्पावरमेंट ते ॻाल्हाईंदा आहियूं, औरतुनि ते ॻाल्हाईंदा आहियूं, नियाणियुनि जी उत्साह ॾियारींदड़ कहिड़ा अमल हुजनि उन्हनि ते ॻाल्हाईंदा आहियूं. ऐं अहिड़ियूं नियाणियूं, अहिड़ियूं औरतूं जेके इंस्पिरेशन आहिनि हर सिंधी नियाणीअ जे लाइ, सिंध छा सॼे पाकिस्तान जे नियाणियुनि जे लाइ, असांजे पूरे जेको सॼो मुल्क आहे उन में जेके उहे चंद सितारा आहिनि जेके उभरी बीहनि था ऐं उहे पंहिंजी रोशनीअ सां सॼे आसमान जी तारीकीअ खे ख़तमु कनि था, उन्हनि जी जेका चमक आहे उन्हनि ते ॻाल्हाईंदासीं त उहे कीअं था पिया पंहिंजो पाण खे मैनेज कनि, हैंडल कनि ऐं उन्हनि जे लाइफ जी स्ट्रगल छा आहे. सो इन्हनि ख़ूबसूरत ॻाल्हियुनि ते ॻाल्हाईंदासीं ऐं गॾोगॾु असां सां ख़ूबसूरत महिमान बि हूंदो आहे. अॼु बि जेके असां वटि महिमान आहे उहा ॾाढी बहितरीनु ऐं उन पंहिंजी लाइफ में मां सम्झंदी आहियां त कुझु माण्हू सिर्फ़ु ॻाल्हियूं कंदा आहिनि त औरत खे एम्पावर हुजणु घुरिजे, औरत बाशऊर हुजणु घुरिजे, हिकिड़ी औरत आहे त उहा मतिलबु उनखे माशरे में हीअं हुजणु घुरिजे, या वरी माशरे ते ॻाल्हाइबो आहे त औरतुनि जे लाइ ही मसइला हुजणु घुरिजनि, माशरो अहिड़ो हुजे, सोसाइटी अहिड़ी हुजे. पर हे सिर्फ़ु ॻाल्हियूं रहिजी वेंदियूं आहिनि, अमलनि में उहो माण्हू करे न सघंदा आहिनि. ऐं कुझु अहिड़ियूं औरतूं हूंदियूं आहिनि जेके करे ॾेखारींदियूं आहिनि ऐं उन घटि औरतुनि में हिकु आहे. असां सां गॾु जेका आहे उहा बहितरीनु मां सम्झंदी आहियां त अलॻि अलॻि फील्ड्स में पंहिंजो सिको मञाए वेठी आहे ऐं लेडीज़ फंड जे नाले सां हिकिड़ी मां सम्झंदा त कारकर्दगी नंढड़ी कोशिशि जेका उहा करे रही आहे ऐं काफ़ी सालनि खां थी करे. ऐं उन में जेके उन औरतुनि खे प्रमोट थी करे जेके बि एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आहिनि, जेके बि बिज़नेस विमेन्स आहिनि, जेके बि आर्टिस्ट आहिनि ऐं जेके बि हैंड एंड क्राफ्ट में ऐं जेको बि इन ख़ूबसूरत हुनर में कंहिं बि हुनर सां वाबस्ता औरतूं आहिनि उन्हनि खे हिकिड़ो प्लेटफॉर्म ॾींदी आहे त तव्हां अचे पंहिंजे प्लेटफॉर्म ऐं माण्हुनि सां मिलो, पंहिंजो सोशल सर्कल नेटवर्किंग जेका आहे तव्हां वधायो ऐं पंहिंजे हुनर खे प्रमोट कयो. अॻिते बि उन खां पोइ बि मूंखे त हालांकि मां सम्झां थी त एॾो कुझु आहे जो मां हेतिरो हिननि जो हवालो ॾेई नथी सघां, एॾो वॾो लॉन्ग इंट्रोडक्शन थी वेंदो त वधीक हुन सां पाण कचहरी कंदासीं ऐं ॻाल्हाईंदासीं त उहा कीअं थी अलॻि अलॻि तरीक़े सां करे. एजुकेट अ गर्ल जे नाले सां बि हिकिड़ो ॾाढो ख़ूबसूरत हिकिड़ो मां सम्झंदमि त हिकिड़ी कोशिशि आहे जेका उहा करे पई. उनजी प्रेसिडेंट आहे, लेडीज़ फंड जी प्रेसिडेंट आहे असांजी तव्हांजी ॾाढी प्यारी ऐं सुपर एक्टिव, शी इज़ सुपर एक्टिव ऐं ॾिसण में बि ॾाढी ख़ूबसूरत आहे. असां सां मौजूदु आहे तारा उज़रा दाऊद. अस्सलाम वालेकुम तारा, हाउ आर यू?
Assalamualaikum. Walaikum assalam, Pak. It's such an honor to be here. बहुत शुक्रिया.
No, I'm so glad to be here because you have been very busy and you are been out of the town since long. I have been approaching you to come to my show and finally the day is today.
My lucky day.
How are you? And just tell me that how you do these things, people just talk and you can do, and you do that instantly. How you manage to do this?
With help like yours.
This is so much. But
and
the
Allah,
thing is,
it's all God.
Exactly. But the thing is that how you get the inspiration and when you feel to, for example, if we talk about the ladies fund. So when you feel to develop a organization or some group of people, so when did you think to do that?
So Ladies Fund was founded March 8th, 2008.
2008.
In memory
Oh
of Benazir Bhutto.
Wow.
And so when she had passed, we started Ladies Fund as a CSR project, and it was the first awards for International Women's Day. March 8, 2008. There was, of course, there are the Sitara and the presidential awards, right?
Ji.
But these were the first all-female awards. Now, of course, there's many. And we started them in honor of Benazir Bhutto to tell each other and the rest of the world that there's an abundance of amazing Pakistani women.
Wow, this is so beautiful. ऐं जीअं त हिननि ॻाल्हि कई त 2008 में हिननि लेडीज़ फंड खे शुरूआत कई हुननि जी ऐं बेनज़ीर भुट्टो शहीद राणीअ खां इंस्पायर थी करे उन्हनि अहिड़ी हिकिड़ो प्लेटफॉर्म ठाहियो जिते औरतुनि खे हिकिड़ी जाइ मिले, हिकिड़ो उन्हनि खे अञा उत्साह मिले, उन्हनि खे मौक़ो मिले पंहिंजो हुनर ॾेखारण जो. Okay, the thing is that you thought to start this. This is a one thing, but when you are trying to implement on your thought process, when you are trying to do that practically, that there are a lot of hurdles, a lot of challenges, especially women faces in our society. How was your experience?
So, Baakh, you want to know the truth?
Yes, I know.
You want to know the inside truth?
Exactly.
So, first, Benazir Bhutto had been my mentor, and I'd won her Benazir Bhutto International Fellowship my third year of Harvard Law School.
Oh, wow,
and I did my thesis on First Woman Bank.
Okay.
And she had guided me on that.
Lovely.
Now, when she had passed and we started the awards, what happened was this lovely lady came to the office and she said, I said, we're doing so well. I am running an asset management company. We haven't even spoken about that.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to give back. I want to give back to the community. And she said, why don't you start awards for entrepreneurs? Now, Hamara Ladies Fund Women's Awards for Pakistan is everything, you know, every field, every honor. But it began with 10 awards for entrepreneurs. And what happened is I said, fabulous, I'll fund these awards. You go organize them.
Wow.
The first Ladies Fund Awards. And she said, no problem. I'm off to London.
Okay.
I'll be back in a week and I'll do it.
Oh.
1 month went and she hadn't come back. And I had said I'm supposed to do these awards. So I was very, very young. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Very, very naive, maybe stupid. And I said, okay, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know any venue. I didn't know any people. And I was a kid, you know. So I started going around and I said, there's a pink palace in Karachi. Mohata Palace.
Yeah.
And Fatma Jinnah had lived there.
Yeah.
So Mohata Palace had never had an event like this before, you know. It was a private affair. Now they even have shadis there and they'd never had an event before. And I went there, this really young girl, and I went to them and said, can I please have my awards here? And they're like, why? I was like, your palace is pink. Ladies Fund is pink. And I admire Benazir Bhutto, Fatma Jinnah.
Yeah.
And this was Fatma Jinnah's home. And they're like, that's actually quite sweet.
Oh, sweet.
And
this is so sweet.
And they're like, okay. I said, it's just 100 women. The first year we had like the first lady comes, 800 people, you know.
Oh my God.
This was just 100 women and men were banned.
Okay.
Men were not allowed because many powerful women in Pakistan have a strong father, brother, husband. And you see what happens is when their father's there, their brother's there, their husband's there, their son's there, everybody sort of sucks up to that person, right?
Yeah.
So we took all the men out.
Okay.
No man was allowed for the first 2 years, right?
Okay.
And so we had 100 women. Now, I didn't know who to give the awards to. I didn't know anything. I was just graduated again, you know. So then I put a panel of judges of, you know, different amazing people who I admired. And, you know, I asked these 5 judges, can you please now be the judges? And, you know, you put this together. And they had, between them, had came up with the 10 women. Now it's public voting.
Okay.
That year it was just 10. And I selected very well the judges. They were very proper people who knew how to pick, right? And then they had a criteria and a thing, and the judges were fully in charge of that. Okay. Then we had no guests. because how do I know who to invite?
Oh my God.
So
It just looked like a play of a kid or children,
so to everyone else, no. It was done with strategy,
Yeah,
everything. The location had to be the best. The judges had to be the best. The guests had to be the best. So who were the 100 most relevant women to invite? So then I needed other people to guide me on that.
Yes.
So everything was clear in my head what I wanted.
Okay.
But how to do it, people had to help.
Yes.
So it was already a community.
Zabardast.
You understand?
But you got that people, at the right time.
No. We had the chief guests were Federal Minister for Women, Provincial Minister for Women, State Bank Chairman at that time was Shamsad Akhtar, and we had 4 mega women as our chief guests. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank now, but so it was the best of the best of the best. And I remember the first thing I did is I went to meet the Provincial Minister for Women, Nadra Pajwani, who again I met a few days ago at a book launch. And she then, we put the nominations for the awards in, I think, every 8 languages and newspapers across Pakistan. And so we just published and published. We got lots of nominations and the judges went through those, before finalizing and so forth. So everything was proper,
yeah.
but it was
planned.
But it was a learning.
Planned. Yes, it was a learning
and
process.
it meant asking a lot of help and admitting I didn't know. But it's lucky when you're young and you're starting, and this applies to all your rural women there. If they have an idea, they want to start a craft business, an artisan clothing business, if they want to start photography and they don't own a camera,
Exactly.
ask for help. They can say, I want to do this. You see, the hardest thing, Baakh, is to have the courage. First of all, the hardest thing is to know what you want. Once you know what you want, then the next hardest thing becomes having the courage to ask for it.
Yeah.
Like
People
the women out there
yeah.
watching, have you asked for a sewing machine? Have you asked for a camera? They may not know how to ask. Put it on Twitter.
Exactly.
I live in Badin. I live in Sangar. I live in Machiara.
Use the social media
and
for
I need a camera because I want to be a photographer.
Wow.
If you start putting these things out, the whole universe and Allah will help you. Because there's people like me who are ready to give you a sewing machine or a camera if I know you want it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is that until and unless you don't know, how would you be able to help anybody?
And that's your role, Baakh.
Yeah.
You're connecting all these rural women watching and their loved ones, men, families, children, mothers, everyone watching, to people like me. And when you're here, if they have a dream, there are people like me who would love to do that.
बिल्कुल ज़बरदस्त ऐं ॾाढी बहितरीन ॻाल्हि कई तारा ऐं इहा ई ॻाल्हि आहे त जॾहिं उहा चए थी त तव्हां जॾहिं घुरंदव न हेल्प जे लाइ जॾहिं तव्हां वेंदव न असां वटि ईअं हूंदो आहे त कुझु माण्हू प्लान कंदा आहिनि पर पोइ चवंदा आहिनि न करे सघंदासीं पैसा कॾां ईंदा ज़रिया किथां मिलंदा कंहिं बि औरत खे अगरि उहा सिलाई थी करे अगरि उहा फोटोग्राफी करणु थी चाहे कंहिं बि तरीक़े जो हुनर सिखणु थी चाहे कुझु बि पंहिंजी लाइफ में करणु थी चाहे उहा जेसि ताईं नथी कंहिंखां घुरी सघे तव्हां अचो तव्हां घुरो तव्हां आवाज़ त हिकिड़ी खणो त पोइ ही जेके इदारा आहिनि तारा आहे उहा कमु करे पई उन सां गॾु ॿिया बि एॾा एफिलिएटेड इदारा आहिनि जेसि ताईं जॾहिं तव्हांजी आवाज़ उन्हनि ताईं पहुचंदी ई कोन्हे त उहे तव्हांखे हेल्प ऐं मदद कीअं था करे सघनि ऐं ज़ाहिर आहे उहे वेठा आहिनि इन करे माने तारा जी ॾाढी हिकिड़ी मूंखे सुठी ॻाल्हि लॻी जो हुन हिकिड़ो ऑनलाइन टीवीअ ते हिकु क़िस्म जो ऐलान कयो आहे त चए पई मां हिते आहियां तव्हांजी हेल्प जे लाइ पर मूंखे ख़बर कीअं पवंदी त तव्हांखे कहिड़ी शइ जी हेल्प खपे तव्हांखे सिलाई मशीन खपे या तव्हांखे कैमरा खपे पंहिंजो कमु करण जे लाइ पंहिंजे फ्यूचर खे थोरो अञा सुठो कमु करण जे लाइ पंहिंजी सुञाणप ठाहिण जे लाइ सोसाइटीअ में त इहे जेके ॻाल्हियूं आहिनि न इहे ॾाढियूं ज़रूरी आहिनि ऐं इहे असांजा जेके प्लेटफॉर्म्स आहिनि तारा जो हिकिड़ो पंहिंजो प्लेटफॉर्म आहे तव्हां हुनखे कॉन्टेक्ट करे था सघो कि माना ॿियो कुझु न त तव्हां सोशल मीडिया यूज़ करे था सघो तव्हां फेसबुक ते इंस्टाग्राम ते ट्विटर ते लिखी सघो था त असांखे हीअ शइ खपे तव्हां जेसि ताईं कंहिं शइ जो पंहिंजी अहमियत जो पाण तव्हां जेको आहे न अहसासु ॾियारींदव तव्हांखे दुनिया में सुञाणप ॾाढी ॾुखी मिलंदी तो इहे ई ॻाल्हियूं आहिनि इन्हनि ई ॻाल्हियुनि खे असांखे ज़हन में रखिणो आहे असांजी सिंध जेका आहे उहा बाशऊर इम्पावर्ड सिंध तॾहिं थींदी जॾहिं असांजूं नियाणियूं empowered हुयूं, you know, the state will be empowered automatically when the girls or ladies will be empowered in that role.
Bilkul sahi baat. You see, the reality is that you asked, why do I do what I do?
Exactly.
It's because people ask. So, for example, we started international fellowships for girls. And I didn't have that idea. Again, someone else had the idea. So a young Maiman girl came to me from IBA. And she said, it's my dream to study in Germany.
Wow.
And I won't be allowed, or soon I'll get married, and then I'll never have this chance again. Please, I've won this place. Help fund me, and I will go.
Okay.
And I'm a Maiman girl, and you know, she said she's Maiman and the first girl ever allowed in her family, you know. So I said, okay, you know. And suddenly now we've sent so many girls to study around the world, and 8 girls to Germany, 1 every year.
Wow,
You know,
Zabardast.
Zabardast, you know,
This
and
is
it
so
was
amazing.
her idea.
Yeah.
Now, this is why you tell all those watching that their dreams are valid.
Exactly.
And they need to share them.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, you know, असां सिंधीअ में चवंदा आहियूं त ख़्वाब ज़रूरु ॾिसणु घुरिजनि. सो त ख़्वाब ॾिसंदव न त उन्हनि जी साभिया करण जे लाइ तव्हां हिमत बि न करे सघंदव. सो साभिया ख़्वाब उहे ई थींदा आहिनि जेके ॾिठा वञनि ऐं उन जी साभिया थियण जे लाइ का कोशिशि कई वञे. सो तारा is here to fulfill the dreams of
with
young
help
girls,
like you.
with help
People
of
help
us,
my
and
dreams.
people will help
We have
you
to help
themselves
others.
also. बिल्कुल. अच्छा, okay, then the thing is that you tell me the whole story when you started. Okay, what happened after that first mega event? You know, because when people do unexpectedly, whenever you do anything, you know, there are a lot of expectations with you. That now she's doing that, now she must have to do that. So how you managed to do that?
You are so wise, Baakh. So wise. Because you see, I just did these awards, but alhamdulillah, they meant so much to the people there. And you see, when I was moving around, I was very young, I realized that I'd meet these women who had done an MBA. They were married, they had little kids, they'd done an MBA, and they were doing maybe flower arranging for a shadi or small business, right? And they would say, you said, what do they do? I'm just a wife, right? But to me, they were like superwomen balancing all these things, because you know, they're wives, daughter-in-laws, daughters, mothers, also small business, also MBA, also, you know. And after the awards, that changed overnight. Like, I know that, alhamdulillah, we did something that changed a nation overnight. And suddenly these same type of women started, their fathers, their brothers, and sons started campaigning for them to win these awards. The awards had meaning. And they're seeing each other and being validated by their peers. There was a lot of press. The nation, at such a beautiful venue with complete izzat, gave them self-esteem, self-worth in a different way. So the same women started being incredibly bold and proud. I'm not talking even about our winners, because our winners were quite iconic, especially the first year. I'm talking the women in the larger society started to feel, I want to win these things. And I want to be proud of it. So I'm not going to be sitting around saying that I do nothing.
Because before that, there was no perspective for that. And after the awards, you showed them that, see, this is happening. You know?
And what you do is worth something, worth talking about. And the men were the first to support that. You know, instead of the men being, no, you know, my wife just does this. The men were like, I get calls all the time. I really want you to meet my mother. I want you to meet my sister. I want you to meet my daughter's doing this. Men are coming up to me even saying, you know, that they're so proud of it, you know. And so that took off. And then what happened is we had the 2000 next big start. So that started, right? Year 15, March 2nd, you have to be there. Okay?
Sure.
So then what happened was we started our first ever conference. And before Ladies Fun Entrepreneurship Conference, all conferences in Pakistan were usually, you bring a foreigner, foreigner comes, everyone comes, claps and attends. So we were the first ever conference to focus on local rags to riches stores. So we would feature 2/3 women, 1/3 men.
Okay.
Okay, and the women were often our award winners,
Okay.
and the men were incredible entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. The founder of Student Biryani. Okay? So no one had heard from him before or since.
Yes.
And he came and he spoke about his journey.
Oh,
Now, isn't that
really?
interesting?
This is so amazing.
And we had even people like Hassan Shahryar Yassin, Samina Beg, you know, Samir Raja, Nilafar Shaheed, and, you know, Saeed, excuse me, all these amazing, amazing women. And, you know, our winners of the year are truly who's who, because even from Lahore, we've had Nasreen Kasouri of Beacon House, Soraya Anwar of SOS Children's
But that
Villages,
Student
Seema
Biryani
Aziz.
guy has a story, and this is so very inspiring.
So we had these panel discussions and speakers, and we changed how entrepreneurship conferences would be and could be. And now every university has their own entrepreneurship society and this and that.
But you are the one who started and who get the idea to the society and can who introduced actually that this can also be happen. So ॾाढी खूबसूरत ॻाल्हियूं ऐं जेका पंहिंजी जर्नी तारा ॿुधाए पई त कीअं हुन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप खे प्रमोट कयो ऐं कीअं हुन शुरूआति कई ऐं उनखे ॾाढी हेल्प बि मिली सोसाइटीअ जी तरफ़ां घणनि माण्हुनि जी तरफ़ां पर इन ते वधीक ॿियो बि ॻाल्हाइबो अॻिते बि छो त वक़्तु थियो आहे साहीअ जो. So don't go anywhere. We will be back after this short commercial break. वेलकम बैक नाज़रीन. ब्रेक खां पोइ हाज़िर आहियूं. ख़ूबसूरत कचहरी आहे जेका तारा सां हले पई. अच्छा तारा, you have told me about the conference. You know, when you got the idea to start this type of conference?
So I was invited. Thank you for asking the question. I was invited to speak at a conference, a youth conference.
Okay.
And whatever I said, the students would say to me, but you come from a background where you don't understand what we're going through. You know, we don't have connections, we don't have bijli at home, we don't have this, we don't have that. So we're women or this, and the conference was mixed, right? So I was determined to make a conference that would neutralize and nullify all their obstacles.
Okay.
So I made sure to have speakers who also grew up with no possibility of nepotism, no possibility, like they didn't have bijli at home, they had hardly any money when they started out, and and there were women on stage, and I would say, so any reason you have to give up, the people here have faced.
Okay.
And that you don't get with foreign speakers and all. Of course, we've had speakers from 8 different countries, and we partnered with all these different consulates. But the main thing when we started was it was a youth conference, youth and women, and was so that no one can have any objection that someone on stage hadn't faced. And so as you're talking to your rural viewers right now, there are rural women who have made it exceptionally well. And one of my mentors and Lady Spun Lifetime Achievement winner, Yasmin Lari, for example, has been working in Makli. And Makli ka Kaam. And she has turned beggars into entrepreneurs. And then beggars turned entrepreneurs, training other beggars to be entrepreneurs. And we've awarded these women at our awards. But what's extraordinary? Yes, which is in Sindh, rural Sindh. And these are rural Sindhi women. And so if a beggar can become a successful entrepreneur, then the typical ordinary girl in rural Sindh, there's nothing she can't do.
Exactly. Zabardast, zabardast. And Makliya mein जॾहिं beggars जेके चए थी पिनण वारा माण्हू जेके थी था सघनि एंटरप्रेन्योर थी था सघनि उन्हनि उनखे एजुकेट कयो उन्हनि खे गाइड कयईं त कीअं तव्हां पंहिंजी लाइफ खे बहितर करे था सघो त हिकिड़ा आम कंहिं बि ॻोठ में कंहिं बि सोसाइटीअ में कंहिं बि शहर में वेठल हिकु न्याणी कुझु बि करे थी सघे. You know, nothing is impossible actually. So these are the examples we can inspire. We can have motivation for the life to prove ourselves. This is amazing thing. But the thing is that you do these conferences in cities. have you been in the rural area and do any conference or any workshop for different area of Sindh? Have you been there?
Of course.
Okay.
So in addition to the work we've been discussing for women,
Yeah,
and soon
yeah,
we'll talk
yeah.
about Educate a Girl, Ladies Fund has done now 25,000 food rations.
Okay.
Flood relief work, we're working on 10,000 wheelchairs, 3,500 have been done,
Okay.
and hand pumps and solar lights.
Wow.
Okay.
Zabardast.
And in addition to Islamabad, and now next 2 weeks from now, we're in Peshawar.
Okay.
We have gone to 8 districts of interior Sindh.
Okay.
So we have been to Badin, Hyderabad, Sangar, Sakar, Machiari.
Matiari. Okay.
Machiari,
Okay.
where I'm in love with the Machiari ice cream shop.
Okay.
Best
Yeah,
ice cream in Pakistan.
Oh wow, Zabardast.
Have you been?
No, I haven't been.
Now, Baakh, I
am going
must show
now
you
I'm going
around
right
interior Sindh, and we must take you, everyone.
Yes.
If you are watching the show and you've had Machiari ice cream, which is 3rd generation, homemade,
Okay.
have their pista ice cream. It's not
Wow.
green, it's original color with pistas.
Pista, oh.
All homemade, their 3rd generation recipe. I'd interviewed them Facebook Live.
Wow.
And I
Zabardast.
tell you, Baakh has to go there.
I will go there. Definitely. I will go there and I will invite them to my show.
Yes.
And we'll talk about their
Yes.
life journey and
Yes.
anything. This is because, these are the Sindhis.
Yes.
These are the people rooted to the Sindh.
Yes.
इहे माण्हू जंहिंमां असां घणो कुझु सिखी था सघूं ऐं उहे कीअं हो पंहिंजी ज़िंदगीअ खे कीअं हो पंहिंजी लाइफ खे हिकिड़ो अहिड़ो था ठाहिनि जेको मुनफ़रिद थी था पवनि सवनि मां हेॾनि लखनि माण्हुनि में हिकिड़ो माण्हू जेको मुनफ़रिद थी थो पवे उहो पंहिंजी ज़िंदगीअ खे पंहिंजी लाइफ खे कीअं थो वैल्यूएबल ठाहे ऐं उन सां गॾोगॾु उहो पंहिंजो नस्लूं सुधारे थो वञे ईअं नंढिड़ो स्टेप आहे नंढड़ी हिमत आहे जेका असांखे करणी आहे ऐं इन ई हिमत जे लाइ अगरि असांखे फाइनेंशियली का हेल्प खपे अगरि असांखे को टूल्स खपनि कंहिं बि क़िस्म जी इक्विपमेंट्स खपनि त असां वटि अहिड़ा इदारा आहिनि जेके हेल्प कनि था लेडीज़ फंड्स जहिड़ा इदारा आहिनि तारा दाऊद जहिड़ियूं औरतूं आहिनि ऐं अञा बि ॿिया अहिड़ा माण्हू आहिनि जेके तव्हांखे मदद करे सघनि था ऐं सिर्फ़ु हिकिड़ो ख़्यालु रखनि ख़्वाब ॾिसण जी देरी आहे सो ख़्वाब ॾिसंदा रहो ऐं छो त इन्हनि ख़्वाबनि जी जॾहिं साभिया थींदी त उहो ख़ूबसूरत जेको आहे न सपननि जी दुनिया जहिड़ी सिंध जंहिंजो असां ख़्वाब था ॾिसूं पिया उहा अची वेंदी उनखे साभिया थियण में देरि न लॻंदी अच्छा तारा you went there okay
And I've gone many times.
many
times because we keep giving wheelchairs out to individuals, to hospitals. We've gone to 21 hospitals in interior Sindh. And in addition to all of that, there is the beautiful artisan crafts, including ajrak. I absolutely love ajrak. Those of you watching may not know that whether it's hala tiles, whether it's ajrak fabric, all over the world, not just Pakistan, but the world is in awe. 70+% of all fabric designs are in Sindh for the whole of South Asia.
Wow.
The whole trends and concepts.
पूरे South Asia में वो सिंध में जहाँ पे इस तरह का fabric होता है.
The designs.
The designs. Okay.
The traditional designs. So there's so much value in what you have. Even we've told the women of Kalash, we had Karachi Night Market was one of our first ever. We've created a first night market for Pakistan, like you have in Malaysia and Singapore. So we brought it to Pakistan as Karachi Night Market, and we partnered with the All Pakistan Fruit and Vegetable Show in Bin Qasim Park, and we had 35,000 families come. And we had 100 women artisan stalls. Women stalls, 100 artisan from Lahore salt mines to Kalash to, of course, hala tiles to across interior Sindh. And we had, some food stalls as well. And it was so yummy. And families came up.
Amazing. I've been there.
Yes, thank you.
I've been there.
And we're bringing it back and help us bring all the Sindhi best foods, best
when are
Sindhi
you going
fabrics.
to do that?
We'll finalize the date for 2024. It's back,
Exactly.
okay?
छो त हीअं नओं साल थी वियो आहे नए साल जी शुरूआत थी वई आहे ऐं तारा हिकिड़ी ख़ूबसूरत अनाउंसमेंट बि करे चुकी आहे त अगरि तव्हां एंटरप्रेन्योर आहियो ऐं खाधो पीते में ऐं कंहिं बि क़िस्म जो तव्हांजो हुनर आहे त तव्हां अचो ऐं हीअ जेका कराची नाइट थींदो इवेंट थींदो कराची में थींदो हुन में तव्हांखे स्टॉल्स ॾिना वेंदा तव्हां उते अचो पंहिंजो बिज़नेस रखो पंहिंजे पाण खे प्रमोट करो ऐं एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप खे अञा वधीक प्रमोट करणु घुरिजे छो त हीउ जेको दौरु आहे न इहो इहो entrepreneurship जो दौर आहे त you have to be multitasker. Until and unless you are doing any one thing, you are not going to survive because the things are very difficult. ॾाढो मुश्किल हिकिड़ो दौर आहे. महांगाई वधी वई आहे, बेरोज़गारी वधी वई आहे, ऐं तव्हां कंहिं बि इदारे खे, कंहिं हुकूमत खे, कंहिं ॿिए माण्हूअ खे ब्लेम नथा करे सघो त असां बेरोज़गार आहियूं त असांखे हीअ सहूलियतूं न आहिनि, छो त सहूलियतूं आहिनि ऐं इहो हुनजो प्रूफ आहे. इहे सहूलियतूं ऐं माण्हू तव्हांखे फ़राहम कनि था, पर तव्हांखे पंहिंजे हिसे जी महिनत पाण करणी पवंदी. सो तव्हां महिनत कयो, अॻिते वधो ऐं सॼी दुनिया जे तारा चयो न ॾाढी ख़ूबसूरत ॻाल्हि कई, तव्हां सिर्फ़ु हिमत कयो, सिर्फ़ु इहो हिकिड़ो इरादो आहे उहो मज़बूत कयो त लाइफ में कुझु करिणो आहे. सॼी काइनात तव्हांखे हेल्प कंदी, सॼो कुदरत तव्हांखे हेल्प कंदी ऐं उन शइ खे तव्हां ॾिसो तव्हां ज़रूरु हासिलु करे वठंदा. अच्छा तारा, you have done
Can you ask them one other thing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if any of your viewers want to participate in Karachi Night Market, but also we have 200 women at the British at the 8th Ladies Fund Sustainability Lunch on January 13th, co-hosted by UNDP.
Okay.
Ask them if any woman artisan or if she makes dried fruits or sellable Sindhi food, jars, achar, anything, and she wants to have a stall there, to contact you and we will make it happen for you.
ज़बरदस्त ज़बरदस्त. अगर तव्हां में को आहे, को हुनर आहे, तव्हां देसी खाधा था ठाहियो, अगर सिंधी वेठा आहियो तव्हां ऐं तव्हां सिंध खाधनि जो को तव्हां हिकिड़ो बेसिक रेसिपी था ठाहियो त तव्हां असांखे कॉन्टेक्ट कयो ऐं हिकिड़ो हिन जो ख़ूबसूरत जनवरी में 13th जनवरी ते हिकिड़ो इवेंट थींदो, तव्हांखे ज़रूरु एक्सेस ॾींदा. तव्हां हुते अचो, पंहिंजो स्टॉल लॻायो, तव्हांखे जाइ ॾींदा, हेल्प कंदा तव्हांखे प्रमोट करण में, तव्हांजे पंहिंजे हुनर खे, पंहिंजे बिज़नेस खे. सो ॾाढी आहे हिकिड़ी बहितरीन कोशिशि आहे. अच्छा, आप you have been in different Sindhis. The thing is that if anyone sitting at a place in a rural area at a home, she wants to start business as an entrepreneurship, what are the basic steps you can advise her to do that? What is the first step, what is the second step, what are the basic tips you can do that she must have to do that? How you guide her to do it?
Okay, bilkul simple hai. First, she needs to look, what does she like to do? What makes her happy? Does she like to cook? Does she like to sew? Does she like to make crafts? What does she like to do? First, she identifies what she likes to do.
Okay.
Then, is that something she can do a lot of? Okay, not one thing. Can she spend days and days and days doing that? Because if she enjoys it and she's good at it and she can spend days doing it, then she's likely to continue to do it and not give up.
In bulk, उस बल्क में करना पड़ेगा. जो भी आपने काम करना है, पहला एक स्टेप है कि you have to like it. आपको दिल से करना है.
And be good at it.
और जो आपका obviously जो आपका हुनर है. दूसरा ये कि आपको इतनी कैपेसिटी है कि आप समझें कि क्योंकि वो फिर आपको बल्क में करना पड़ेगा. अच्छा, अब when it comes to the thing in bulk, when we talk about bulk in cooking or in food, we need a team. So is it necessary to make a team for that? Everyone.
So everything is supply chain, but you've said first start at the beginning. What does she like to do? What can she do a lot of? Now, when you get more than that, you need a team and supply chain. But first, she has to make the first lots herself.
Individually, she can do
this. So, for example, let's say she makes, in Lahore, there's naan katai. What is the big cookie of Sindh? Sindh cookie kya hai? Or Sindh, name me a Sindh dish.
Sindhi dish.
Any dish.
Palli.
Palli. Okay, I love palli. Okay, it's one of my favorite dishes. So let's say she makes palli. And she makes let's say she's a girl in Sucker. A young woman in Sucker. She makes the best, she likes to make palli. And even her saas likes it, and this one likes it, and that likes it.
Everyone likes her palli. She's expert in palli.
So she first has to go from being expert to being the best. So she should be asking immediately her family and friends, why do you like my palli? Which day do you like it best? Because she has to be consistent.
Yes.
It can't be good palli on Monday and bad palli on Wednesday. It has to be solid, good palli. And then she has to make it from the best to the best. Okay. So before she assumes I'm the best, she has to say, okay, I'm really good. I need to get even better.
Okay.
Because that's the difference that will make her very successful. If she's satisfied with those praises, compliments, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
She needs to first up her game. She says
बेहतर से बेहतर होना है.
हाँ,
सिर्फ एक दो बार की बेहतरी से आप अपना बिजनेस नहीं कर सकती, आप एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं बन सकती. You have to challenge yourself. अपना ही रिकॉर्ड खुद तोड़ना है. You know?
So she has to be like, मेरा phali best hai, and I'm gonna make, and I like doing it. So now I make it even better. However, she has to spend that 5 minutes, you know. And once that's there, then she has to go a little beyond her friends. She has to send palis to few friends. And if they like it and they start asking her to make more, then she sends more. Then she can begin charging. If she from day one wants to charge, who's going to buy, right?
Yes.
Once people are like, I had your pali last night and I dreamt about it all night. I want to have it for my dinner and I want this much quantity. Or I told my cousin, I told my sister, I told next village, I told this one. That's when she's going to start getting orders. Because, and so then she has to be able to make more pali. And she has to make it good at a scale. Then once she's catering for like this much pali in the village or whatever, and the next village wants it, then she starts making her team. Then the team comes, right? And then she has to, like, you know the student biryani?
Of course.
He was the only person in the world at our conference who knew the recipe in the whole world.
Really?
And he said next year, after our conference, 1 year after our conference, he was going to pass the recipe, secret recipe, to his eldest son only. None of the other children knew it, right? So then she has to decide, if you're watching the show, if your pali recipe, do you want to train people in it or you want to keep it tight, you know, strategy है, right?
तो पाण ताई रखणी है ना, तो पंहिंजी सीक्रेट रेसिपी तव्हां सभिनी खे ॿुधायो, या सीक्रेट रेसिपी सिर्फ़ तव्हांजी आहे जेका तव्हांखे मुनफ़रिद थी बणाए ॿियनि सभिनी मां.
And maybe she wants to train people to make lots of pali, but the masala she only makes. You know, because that's easy for her, just a simple, like, you know, like garam masala. So she has a little masala kit she makes, and that is put, but she only knows the recipe of her magic masala, right?
Exactly.
But everyone else opens the pali, gets it organized, cooks it, adds the dal, you know, all that kind of stuff,
but the taste
right?
is different.
Yes. You understand? So that's the strategy, because you see, you talked about obstacles right at the start.
Exactly.
There's your body obstacle, you get tired, you get sick sometimes, you have conflicting schedule,
family issues,
COVID comes and nobody's buying, you know. So you have to figure out then
risk factor को भी अपने mind में रखना है.
And then you also have thievery, chori. Okay, people who you hire can steal your recipe. Even a friend, once they see the paisa coming in, can do a competitive one, right? Even your favorite employee can go and start a competitive business, right?
Exactly.
So how much is her personality and her secret and how much she shares, right? And each step of the way, right? Then it becomes, once she's at that level, then it becomes brand name, packaging, labels, preservatives,
representation,
shipping, you know, presentation, going across into your sin, then going into markets like supermarkets like Hyperstar and Amy's, and you know how to get it there. Then you look at if it's preserved pali, like you've seen Lal Kilar. They at the airport have, you know, everything in tins. Is it a dish that she can make in tins and send it to England and all these places, you know?
It will be worldwide, globally, a business
imagine
brand.
Pakistani pali. You know, the best in the world, and it's, you know, doesn't go bad or whatever she has to do.
Anyone can have a Pakistani Sindhi pali recipe.
Authentic.
In Canada or in England or in Sydney.
Yes. But it begins with her wanting it so much that every time there's a problem, she doesn't give up. And there'll be, I get a problem a day. Okay? Every day obstacle hai. So she has to like it enough.
The consistency is, I think, the main factor for that.
Consistency and desire. So, sub aurat watching the show, ask them what they want so much.
Wow.
That if they hear no every hour, they still want it.
They still want it. बहुत ॾाढी ख़ूबसूरत ॻाल्हि, ॾाढी बहितरीन ॻाल्हि आहे त पंहिंजे पाण खां पुछो तव्हांखे छा खपे, ऐं सिर्फ़ु हिकु दफ़े न, हर दफ़े तव्हांखे उहा शइ खपे, तव्हांखे उन शइ जी डिज़ायर आहे, तव्हांखे उन शइ जी नीड आहे, तव्हां चाहियो था त मूंखे हिन फील्ड में वञिणो आहे, मूंखे हिन फील्ड में पंहिंजो पाण खे मञाइणो आहे, त तव्हां पंहिंजे पाण खां पुछो ऐं सोचो ऐं पोइ वरी उन ते कारआमद कयो। हीअ असांजा कॉन्टेक्ट्स आहिनि, तारा आहे, लेडीज़ फंड्स जो पंहिंजो हिकिड़ो इदारो आहे ॾाढो ख़ूबसूरत। तव्हां हिते अचो, तव्हांखे फंडिंग खपे, स्पॉन्सरशिप्स खपे, यू नो पीपल आर हेयर टू हेल्प यू। ऐं इन सां गॾोगॾु हिकिड़ो ख़ूबसूरत मौसीक़ीअ जो वक़्तु अची वियो आहे। एंड तारा, यू लव म्यूज़िक, लव म्यूज़िक, एंड लेट्स हैव अ म्यूज़िक, इंजॉय कयूं था। तव्हां बि इंजॉय कयो, असां बि इंजॉय कयूं था, पोइ वरी मिलूं था ऐं पंहिंजी कचहरीअ खे जारी था रखूं। वेलकम बैक नाज़रीन, हाज़िर आहियूं ब्रेक खां पोइ ऐं ॾाढी ख़ूबसूरत ॻाल्हि पई हले, ख़्वाबनि जूं ॻाल्हियूं पियूं हलनि, उन्हनि खे साबियां करण जूं ॻाल्हियूं पियूं हलनि। ऐं ॾाढी ख़ूबसूरत असां सां जेका गेस्ट आहे तारा उजरा दाऊद, उहा पंहिंजे हवाले सां ॻाल्हाए थी, पंहिंजी लाइफ जर्नी जे हवाले सां ॻाल्हाए थी। तारा, व्हेन अ वुमन started to dream in our society, there are a lot of hurdles she faces, you know, how you find to being them, you know, you and me are blessed to have educated background, you know, but not every girl has that access, has that understanding around her. You know, what is the most difficult thing you can assume that a woman can face in her life when she is become passionate, admirable, and when she sees dreams to fulfill for their betterment for the future? So what do you think the most important thing and most difficult thing in the life of a woman?
So I am going to let you answer that, because every woman has a different difficulty she faces.
Okay.
And it's not, I cannot say that one can have a loss of a parent, one can have financial loss, one can be raped.
Everyone has their own
there's a
issues.
different obstacle.
Okay.
Other people could have self-worth obstacles, people can have, but everyone in life has obstacles. Everyone in life has hurdles. That I know. But to say what's worse than the other, and what is very difficult for any woman with a dream, is to hear the word no. Whether the word no is from her family, her husband, her school teacher, whether it's from, you know, the mullah, anyone, whether it's a voice inside her saying you can't do this, you know, whatever, hearing no, or that it's impossible.
Yes.
That is universally a challenge.
Yes. Okay. So what was the difficult time for you to face? Which phase was yours? You can say that, you know, these 2 years were very difficult for me.
You know, Baakh, my difficulties are all the time. Okay. And I'm sure you're aware that I recently lost my father.
Yeah,
and that was quite heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And you said that I was traveling. After he passed, I needed to go away, and Ladies Fund followed. So we launched Ladies Fund in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in DC, New York, continued in Toronto, London, all these places we launched it, but I was really getting away, you know? And so everybody has challenges.
Yeah, I know. This is so very accurate, I guess, the thing that you told me. You know, everyone has different obstacles, everyone has different challenges. Okay, fine. So how you deal with these difficulties? How many women can deal these challenges and still think to do what she aimed?
So the best route is gratitude.
Okay.
Shukriya, for all the things that are right. If एक बड़ा obstacle and 10 shota good things, you focus on the 10 good things.
Wow, this is so
but
beautiful.
How else you cope is individual. Like, I'm a runner, you know, so I'm a sprinter, you know, I run on the field, right? Some people might paint. Some people may cry. Some people may yell and scream. Some people may
Yes, of course.
do therapy. Some people, like everyone will find their own healing process. Some people might eat, you know,
Yeah.
like sometimes to get over obstacles, some people become fat, you know,
Yes, it happens.
Gain weight, excuse me, you know, people will face it however they wish, but the universal best thing is to focus on shukrana.
Wow, this is so beautiful. This is so amazing and positive approach towards the life, you know. Everyone can have that. त तव्हांखे जेतिरा बि हर्डल्स मिलनि, जेॾा वॾा चैलेंजिस हुजनि, यू नो, तारा ॾाढी सुठी हिकिड़ी ॻाल्हि कई त हिकिड़ो वॾो पहाड़ जेॾो चैलेंज हुजे, वॾो हिकिड़ी रुकावट हुजे, पर वॾा ॾुख हुजनि, पर नंढड़ियूं नंढड़ियूं जेके तव्हांजूं ॿ टे ख़ुशियूं आहिनि न, तव्हां उन्हनि खे फोकस कयो त उहे वॾा जेके पहाड़ जेॾा ॾुख आहिनि, चैलेंजिस आहिनि, उहे बि तव्हांखे नज़र न ईंदा. त तव्हां शुक्र अदा कयो ऐं ब्लेस्ड कयो, फील कयो, ऐं जेको तव्हांखे मिले थो, जेके सोर्सिस तव्हां वटि आहिनि, तव्हां उन्हनि में जेॾो थी सघे त पंहिंजे पाण खे ख़ुशि रखो. ऐं जीअं त माण्हू जेॾो नेगेटिव सोचींदो उनखे ज़िंदगी बि नेगेटिव लॻंदी, पर पॉज़िटिव सोचण सां तव्हांखे, तव्हांजे अंदरि अगरि का नेगेटिविटी हूंदी बि त उहा बि ख़तमु थी सघे थी. त ॾाढी बहितरीनु ॻाल्हि आहे. अच्छा, ये यू नो, व्हेन हैव यू स्टार्टेड दिस educate a girl?
So we
when
started
this happened actually?
7 years ago.
Okay.
So basically, you know, when Malala Yousafzai was shot, 9 months after that, we brought Shazia and Kainat, the two girls shot alongside her. There was 3 girls shot, and 2 of them were ignored by the world. So Shazia was 15 and Kainat 17. Malala Yousafzai was 16.
Shot along with Malala.
And so we found them and their families, and we brought them SWAT to Karachi for our awards. And, you know, we gave them funding. We dressed them in couture. We gave them the award, and then we gave them funding for their education. Thereafter, the President, Prime Minister of Pakistan also gave them an award and funding. And thereafter, UK Prime Minister Gordon Brown brought them to the UK, gave them funding, and they started educating there. At our awards, CNN Global filmed them. You know, and that's it's been seen at our awards. And those days, the awards were at Mahatma Palace, right? And you know, they were our first educated girls, the 2 of them. And then what happened is, I kept getting a voice inside me saying, hearing a voice from Allah saying, educate girls. And I'm like, I don't know how.
Again, you have get those voices, you know.
I don't know what to do. So I ignored it. And it wouldn't go away, and we were having our conference. And the voice was bugging me. And so we decided to educate 16 girls in journalism at the Institute of Journalism. And so we gave them funding, and we put them on stage and gave them certificates.
From what area those 16
Journalism.
Journalism in the field, but from what were they from rural Sindh or
no,
Punjab
just
or
Karachi. This is just basic Karachi Institute of Journalism. We paid for their scholarships. We didn't do anything. We just gave them money. Okay. And I said, okay, now we've done this. Okay. The voice got stronger, and so that was in September. And so we decided for December, we wanted to fundraise for 100 girls. Same journalism. At that stage, we were just going to give money.
So why only journalism?
Because my background was journalism, and I was trained by the Youth News Service Division of the Associated Press. And I felt that a girl's voice is what she needs to have heard. And right now, what happens is, always there's 1 or 2 famous people everyone asks a quote from. And I wanted these girls to know all their voices could be heard.
In journalism, it can be a key.
And so one of the first things we taught them was Twitter. And we would bring girls to the front, and they didn't even want to come to the front. They didn't even want to speak. They were so shy. But once they started speaking, they wouldn't stop.
This happens always.
Yes. So we brought them to the front, and we would say, is there one thing you wish you could say if the whole world could listen? And just say it now. And they would say whatever their dream, hope, thought, anything. It could be even political. They would say something. And then we'd say, you know, you just tweet this and the whole world can listen. And they realized there was a way for their voice to be heard. Their voice mattered. There was an audience. And that was hugely changing, right? So we began with journalism. Now we do even AI coding, ChatGPT, you know, all that kind of stuff. We began with basic journalism. And 8 girls have become news anchors.
Wow.
You know, so we've done many of One Journalism Awards. But when we began, so we had this fundraiser in December for 100 scholarships. And then we only raised 65. So I was thinking of canceling the fundraiser. And I was like, because we were inviting the donors for dinner. And we only had 65 scholarships. So I was like, let's just cancel it. It's a failure. And one of my donors said to me, have it anyhow. Even if it's 65, not 100, have it. And you know, the 2 days before, suddenly changed. And on the day, we raised 125 scholarships instead of the 100.
Wow.
But you know, that was another time I was going to give up.
Yeah.
And someone said, 65 is better than nothing. Just do it. And then Allah made everything happen.
Wow.
And we've never looked back. We went to Nigeria. We trained girls there. Now we're doing online as well. It's been an amazing journey. We've been all over Pakistan.
And how any girl can contact you for that?
So,
you know, is there any platform or website or
Educate a Girl? We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They can contact us.
They can contact
email, you know, website.
This is amazing thing, you know, Educate a Girl, and you know, this is ॾाढो बहितरीन आहे. तव्हांखे अगर स्कॉलरशिप जे लाइ तव्हां ॾिसो त ही आहिनि, मां पंहिंजे कैमरामैन खे चवंदसि त थोरो अगर ज़ूम थी करे त तव्हां हिनखे ज़ूम करे ॾेखारियो त हिननि कॉन्टेक्ट्स खे तव्हां कॉन्टेक्ट कयो ऐं तव्हांखे अगर स्कॉलरशिप खपे त तव्हां हिननि खे कॉन्टेक्ट कयो ऐं तव्हांखे स्कॉलरशिप ॾींदा. बहितरीन हिननि जो जेको आहे कमु आहे जेको कनि पिया.
And we're looking in Peshawar when we go 15 to 17 to do financial literacy training there.
Amazing.
So if any girls want to attend, contact us. And they can always contact Baakh to get
of
to
course.
us.
असांखे कॉन्टेक्ट कयो, असांजो फीडबैक ॾियो, असांखे तव्हां कॉन्टेक्ट कंदा त असां तव्हांखे ज़रूरु हिननि जो कॉन्टेक्ट ॾींदासीं, ईमेल्स जे थ्रू, फेसबुक जे थ्रू ऐं सोशल मीडिया ते. मतिलबु हिननि जो आहे तारा जो लेडीज़ फर्म जे हवाले सां, एजुकेट अ गर्ल जे हवाले सां हिननि जो पंहिंजूं वेबसाइट्स आहिनि, पेजिस आहिनि. तव्हां फेसबुक यूज़ कयो था, तव्हां इंस्टाग्राम यूज़ कयो था, तव्हां सोशल मीडिया जे थ्रू ज़रूरु हिननि जो कॉन्टेक्ट तव्हांखे मिली वेंदो. ऐं ज़रूरु तव्हां कॉन्टेक्ट कयो, छो त अहिड़ा काफ़ी घटि माण्हू आहिनि. ऐं जीअं त हिननि चयो त ज़ाहिर आहे मदद करण वारनि खे बि मुश्किलुनि जो जेको आहे फेस करिणो पए थो. उन्हनि जे लाइफ में बि चैलेंजिस आहिनि, उन्हनि खे फेस कनि पिया, पर उहे सिर्फ़ु इन करे त सोसाइटीअ में थोरी बेटरमेंट थी सघे, सोसाइटीअ में कुझु चङायूं थी सघनि, पंहिंजो रोल, पंहिंजी कंट्रीब्यूशन बेशक नंढड़ी सही पर माण्हू ॾेई सघे, अदा करे सघे. इहो हिकिड़ो कर्ज़ हूंदो आहे जेको असांखे अचे, पंहिंजी ज़मीन लाइ, पंहिंजनि माण्हुनि जे लाइ, पंहिंजनि मुल्क जे लाइ ॾियणो पवंदो आहे. सो बहितरीनु कमु करे पई, ॾाढी बहितरीनु ॻाल्हि आहे. अच्छा तारा, whenever you meet those girls now, you know, how are they doing? Are they doing the journalism professionally? Have them gone through that? And how you feel to meet the girl, you know, now she's stable, now she has her own identity. So what is this feeling?
You know, some have even become entrepreneurs, starting their own publications, hiring other girls.
Wow.
Many girls have started donating for other girls to be educated out of their salaries. And you know, the biggest thing is how empowered and confident they are. You know, we partner with different diplomatic missions as well. So we had them come to the Russian consulate, and the Russian consul general spoke to them. The Swiss one taught them job interviews, you know, and how to interview people. We even brought them to the home of the French consul general, who taught them the history of France and Pakistan, because France began as a religious state and then has become now secular. And he talked about the political journey of the two countries to them. You know how interesting that is?
This is so good.
And fed them French food, you know? And these are girls from Buffer Zone, Karimabad, you know, all over. And it's been an extraordinary journey of working with these girls. Many we've hired, many have been volunteers and interns. Some we've taken to Nigeria and Islamabad with us.
All right, wow,
you know?
This is so good. When, you know, there are the people who cannot, who are who has difficulties to approach you, to reach you people or any other people who are ready to help them, you know, there is there any activity you do to go their areas, their place yearly, inconsistently you are doing there? So what are the plans to do that, you know, because you know, the urban area girl is empowered, mashallah, in her area, in her society, in her country, but the rural girl has always been there and she is suffering, you know. These all activities, okay, you are doing amazing thing, but you know, this is just a katra in a samandar. It feel like that.
Absolutely.
So what are the other activities you do? मतलब आप जाती हैं, आप उनके अलग अलग एरिया में जाके कोई वर्कशॉप्स, कोई इस तरह की रजिस्ट्रेशंस करवाती हैं, क्योंकि जाहिर है उन लोगों के लिए तो वहाँ पे तो इंटरनेट भी इशू है. अब आपका नंबर तो हमने स्क्रीन पे लगा लिया है, बट दे डोंट हैव एक्सेस टू रीच यू, दे डोंट हैव एक्सेस टू मैसेज यू ऑन फेसबुक एंड ट्विटर, यू नीड दैट इंटरनेट एक्सेस. वहाँ पर तो वो भी नहीं है, तो वो क्या करें? क्या आप लोगों की इस तरह की एक्टिविटीज होती है कि आप साल में एक बार या 6 महीने में एक बार जाती हैं वहाँ पे, कोई कैंपेन लगाते हैं, कुछ इस तरह करते हैं, कुछ प्लानिंग है आपकी ऐसा करने की?
So, as mentioned, we are doing trainings, and we're looking in 2 weeks to do a training in Peshawar,
Okay.
for example. And we partner with different institutes. We've done trainings in Punjab as well, in addition to Interior Sindh. Now, the key is for us to do different trainings, we also need partners. So out there, not only just the rural women, but agencies watching who want to partner with us to grow, please do so.
Okay.
And further than that, have the women reach out to others as well. We're not the only ones. You know, anyone who wants to help them, they shouldn't be shy, you know, because they don't have internet, as you said, they don't have these options.
Yes.
We're in talks with UNICEF, Wakaro, that we want to do a big educated girl training in Badin.
Okay.
And that would be huge and wide scale with the technical assistance from UNICEF.
Okay.
So we're working on the larger scale to reach out to more girls. But the biggest thing we're trying to do is online. Because ultimately, we need a system that girls can be trained any time of day.
Yes, of course.
Any part of the world. I mean, obviously connectivity is an issue.
Gee.
And we're also working, I mean, it's a long stretch, but we're working to try and improve connectivity in Interior Sindh. I actually had a couple of meetings,
I'm glad to hear
but that's
that.
something we're working on as a foundation. The legal name of our foundation is Dawood Global Foundation. And we're working on that, but it's bigger than me.
It's a bigger, yeah.
You know,
Yes,
it's bigger than my
and
team.
it
It's bigger than you and me.
Yes,
you know.
Of course. Okay, this is amazing thing. All right. Apart from that, you know, you have a family. You have a lot of other things to do. How you manage, you know? कभी ऐसा फील हुआ कि यार बहुत कर लिया, I need a break. You know, how you feel that and what you do for that?
So I'm very blessed to have a loving home and to be very pampered in my home, which is really nice. And by the way, my team is not only amazing, but they also take care of me and pamper me and look after me, which is really, really nice.
So good.
And a lot of love. People don't understand that to give love, you also have to be surrounded and get love.
Wow.
And that's from family and friends and my team and even strangers and well-wishers. They sometimes send messages or gifts even out of the blue. And so all that stuff just makes you feel happy. And then I mentioned I'm a runner, so I sprint, and that's very soothing. I like movies, to read, to relax, bubble baths, all that kind of stuff.
And what area
And to
you
eat.
like the most in the Sindh? Like you said, you went there, you know, in a different rural area. Which was the most favorite place for you?
Okay, so I loved certain spots. So one was Dodo Sumro's in Shrine in Badin.
Okay.
Because I'm a Maiman girl, from Batwa Maiman girl, from the village of Batwa, Gujarat, Kutch.
Okay. Yeah.
And my village of Batwa, which is my ancestry, is 100 miles from Dodo Sumro's shrine. So on a clear day with binoculars, you can see the ancestry I'm from. So that's pretty cool. You know, and then also when we were in Sangar, we did, you know, Chotiari Dam and all that, you know, but we also did a desert safari.
Oh,
which
yeah.
was
In
so
Sangar.
much fun.
Desert safari in Sangar.
And people
Wow.
keep going to Dubai. All these aside, people
Yes.
go to Dubai. In Sangar, we have a desert safari, which was
Wow.
rocking.
ज़बरदस्त ज़बरदस्त हाणे मूंखे त अॼु ख़बर पई आहे अगरि तव्हांखे ख़बर आहे त तव्हां ज़रूरु फीडबैक ॾिजो यूट्यूब ते सांगड़ में डेज़र्ट सफ़ारी करे ॾिठी आहे कंहिं त ज़रूरु ॿुधाए दिस इज़ सरप्राइजिंगली अमेजिंग
It is, and they're incredible stuff. And of course, I mentioned to you, I like my ice cream in Machiara.
मटियार
But even in Badin, because they know I like bindi, you know bindi?
भिंडी
Huh. So
Yeah.
they made Badin ka bindi for me, and and
Okay.
pali, which I like, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
forth. When I was in Mirpukas, oh, the delicious food they would make, all organic. You know?
ज़बरदस्त Okay, this is so beautiful. You know how rich our culture is.
Mhm.
The Sindh, it has very rich culture, very rich traditions, and people are so rooted over here. I haven't seen other people so connected to their history and connection as like Sindhis.
Mhm.
Have you felt that?
Of course, the love of Sindh. Our team includes members from Larkana, your hometown.
Yes, of course.
And we are expanding our wheelchairs to Larkana as well.
Wow.
And I also, next time I'm on your show, inshallah,
Inshallah.
I will wear ajrak.
Zabardast. I will definitely try to give you ajrak as a gift because this is a traditionally act of Sindhis. ऐं ॾाढी ख़ूबसूरत ॻाल्हि थिए पई ऐं बहितरीन असांजो सिंधी कल्चर आहे जंहिंजे बारे में तारा ॻाल्हि पई करे पई त उन अलॻि अलॻि मुल्क शहरनि में अलॻि अलॻि सिंध जे इलाइक़नि जूं जेके पंहिंजूं ख़ुशूसियात आहिनि पंहिंजूं यादूं आहिनि से ॿुधाए पई ऐं ॾाढी बहितरीन कचहरी आहे जेका कयूं पिया पर वक़्तु थियो आहे नंढी साईअ जो सो ब्रेक वठूं था ब्रेक खां पोइ वरी हाज़िर थींदासीं किथे न वञिजो वेलकम बैक नाज़रीन ब्रेक खां पोइ हाज़िर आहियूं ख़ूबसूरत कचहरी जारी आहे तारा सां अच्छा तारा आई वांटेड टू आस्क यू समथिंग फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग टाइम दैट यू हैव डूइंग चैरिटी वर्क a lot of charity work how did it started and what exactly you do
So, I mentioned to you that we started the awards as a CSR project because our financial institution,
okay
which is now 786 Investments, was #1 mutual fund.
Okay.
And making so much, we wanted to give back. Now, alhamdulillah, it's a separate charity, all on its own, Dawud Global Foundation, since 2010. Now, in addition to Ladies Fund and Educate a Girl, we've done 25,000 food rations. We've done flood relief.
okay
We've done hand pumps, solar lights, wheelchairs with 10,000. We are aiming for. We've done 3,500. And we also have an incubation center in the West for women. If you have a startup that reaches $1 billion US, it's called a unicorn.
okay
So we have named ours the Baakh Center after Mirage, and the
Yeah.
winged horse, the Prophet, peace be upon him, went to heaven on. And our slogan is for women entrepreneurs training: watch her fly.
wow zabardast
And this was done with us and the German consulate and Lums Lahore NIC. Then we also nominate loans for women to the state bank, through the state bank loan scheme to banks. So if any of the women here want to apply for a loan, and they have separate agriculture loans, youth loans, and women loans, right?
all right
Now, for profit,
Yeah,
one of the most exciting things we're doing now is, inshallah, Pakistan's first ever 50 megawatt solar plant, owned by and run primarily by women in Garo, Sindh.
Gharo.
And inshallah, as we expand to 200 megawatts, we are going to have Ladies Fund Pink. Show our card, please.
Yeah.
Ladies Fund Pink wind turbines.
Okay.
Ye rang ka
Okay.
wind turbine.
Wow, zabardast.
And it'll be the first time in not only Pakistan but the region's history where women will live on site.
Zabardast. This is so beautiful. Okay, so what exactly when it's going to start and how you need to process time?
It's already under feasibility study, and last Friday we started also training 125 women engineers, girl engineers, in partnership with Dawud University of Engineering and Technology, in sustainability and different elements of renewables to build capacity. So inshallah, within a year and a half, we will begin the construction will be done.
Inshallah. And you know, when you come to the entrepreneurship, there is also a rate of income,
Yes.
you know, for the rural women if she is entrepreneur. But there is there are not people who can buy, who can help in her business, because this of berozgari, for not being employed in anything, you know. So is there anything specifically ladies want doing something to give jobs to women, to help their financially, you know? Is there anything you are doing there?
Okay. So we train women for jobs.
Okay.
And we nominate women for loans, which is money. The bridge, like you're a bridge.
Okay.
We are a bridge, right? And so that's what we do.
All right, that's right. Okay. But the thing is, okay, you know, we have a very few access to prove ourselves. You know, when you come to the rural women, when you come to the women in, for example, Larkana or Badin or in any other village, the internet access is also an issue. But the thing is that I'm so very hopeful that you have that Baakh.
Yes.
You know, it's a solar plant, because through that we have a hope at least that at least we are going to change, at least the betterment will become, and this is all anyone can do.
So, Baakh, yes, I'm here. Yes, you're here. But tell your rural women that their dreams, they can make come true. Even if there's no one to help them, there's Allah.
Exactly.
So if they have a dream, they should be saying, Allah, guide me. Bring me the right people. Help my dream come true. I believe every dream in your heart is put there by Allah. So if Allah puts it in your heart, then Allah has a way to make it come true. So you ask Allah for that. And maybe I'll be involved, maybe you'll be involved, and maybe we won't.
Yeah.
Allah will decide the how and the journey. But the girls must ask Allah.
Yeah, this is the main thing. तव्हांखे जेको बि ख़्वाब आहिनि, ज़ाहिर आहे उन्हनि जी ख़्वाब आहिनि, त उहा चाहत जेका आहे उहा विझण वारो बि अलाह आहे. उन्हनि तव्हांजे दिलि में उहा चाहत विधी आहे ऐं उहो ई ज़रिया बि पैदा कंदो. त पंहिंजे पाण ते एतमाद रखणु ज़रूरी आहे. You know, to believe in yourself is very important. Okay, finally.
And believe in your dreams.
Believe in your dream, obviously. Because we are talking about dreams and betterment of life, you know, because this is all. If we don't dream, we cannot have a vision, a perspective of a betterment of self.
And also, Baakh, remember that everyone in your world does not necessarily believe in your dream. Because your dream, Allah's put in your heart, not in their heart.
Exactly.
So how can they believe such an unusual dream, right?
But you have to.
You have to believe, and your dream believing is believing in Allah.
Wow.
And you, Baakh, is the best example of this. You know, this amazing Baakh from Larkana, having grown up in Karachi, came to KTN and said, I want my own show. Now, she obviously she prayed to Allah and then walked to KTN,
yes,
but she came to ATN.
ATN.
She did not say nothing. She came and she said, this is my dream, now help me. And KTN did.
Yeah, it happened. Yes, exactly.
So you watching, tell all your rural women, they have to be convincing, they have to believe, they have to take no for an answer.
Yes, of course. ॾाढियूं ख़ूबसूरत ॻाल्हियूं ऐं बहितरीन ॻाल्हियूं पई करे तारा, ऐं ॾाढो ख़ूबसूरत असांजी ॻाल्हि ॿोल पई रही. मां त ॾाढो इंस्पायर रही आहियां ऐं जेके बि प्लेटफॉर्म्स तारा ॿुधाया पई उहे सभु असांजे औरतुनि खे उन्हनि जी भलाईअ जे लाइ, उन्हनि जी एम्पावरमेंट जे लाइ पई ॿुधाया. त तव्हांखे ज़िंदगीअ में कंहिं बि क़िस्म जो को कमु करिणो आहे, बिज़नेस करिणो आहे, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप खे प्रमोट कयो, तव्हां अॻिते वधो. हिकु औरत घर में चाहे सिलाई थी करे, चाहे फोटोग्राफी करणु चाहे थी, या कुझु पढ़णु चाहे थी, स्कॉलरशिप्स तव्हांखे खपनि त तव्हां हेल्प जे लाइ निकिरो, तव्हां तारा खे कॉन्टेक्ट कयो, या वरी अहिड़ा ॿिया काफ़ी अहिड़ा इदारा आहिनि. पर पाण ते एतमाद रखणु तमामु ज़रूरी आहे. Tara, how do you feel to be on my show? And because for me, it was such a privilege to have you, and I just loved and enjoyed each and everything you say. So how do you feel, and what are the final message you will give to the viewers?
I feel so lucky, so happy,
So good.
and so excited to be on your show.
Thank you so
It's
much.
been the highlight of my day, and you, Baakh, are such an amazing host.
Oh, sweet.
I know
Well,
you're
thank
going to
you
go
so much.
from strength to strength. Pura zindagi, the whole world is going to watch Baakh show.
So
So
sweet.
everybody watching, also tell all your friends to watch. Share, 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 share.
ज़बरदस्त
ज़बरदस्त.
बहितरीन ॾाढो एंजॉय कयोसीं ऐं तव्हांखे बि उमेद आहे मज़ो आयो हूंदो ऐं ईंदड़ हफ़्ते वरी हिकिड़ी नई पर्सनैलिटी सां हाज़िर थींदासीं ऐं ईअं ई उत्साह हासिल कंदासीं हिक ॿिए जे ॻाल्हियुनि मां, हिक ॿिए जी जाखोड़ मां, हिक ॿिए जी चैलेंजिस मां ऐं जेके बि असांजी ज़िंदगीअ में चैलेंजिस था अचनि जीअं तारा चयो त मुश्किलातूं ऐं ॾुखियाइयूं हर कंहिंजी लाइफ में आहिनि। अगरि असां टीवीअ ते वेठा आहियूं ऐं तव्हां सम्झो था त बाख जी ज़िंदगी आसान आहे, तारा जी ज़िंदगी आसान आहे, त ईअं कोन्हे। ॾुखियाइयूं सभिनी खे मिलनि थियूं, सभिनी खे फेस करणियूं पवनि थियूं, पर तव्हांजी पंहिंजी हिमत आहे, पंहिंजो तव्हांजो मां सम्झंदी आहियां त जेको इरादो आहे उहो पुख़्तो हुजणु घुरिजे, पको इरादो हुजणु घुरिजे, त पोइ तव्हांजा सभु कम आसान थी पवनि था। इन ख़ूबसूरत नोट ते मोकिलाणी कंदासीं, इजाज़त वठंदासीं तव्हां खां। ईंदड़ हफ़्ते वरी असां सां गॾु हुजिजो बहितरीन पर्सनैलिटियुनि सां। असां तव्हांजी मुलाक़ात कराईंदा आहियूं, उन्हनि जी लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसिस ते ॻाल्हाईंदा आहियूं ऐं पर वेंदे वेंदे हिकिड़ी मौसीक़ी आहे, कलाम आहे ख़ूबसूरत, तव्हां बि ॿुधो, असां बि इंजॉय था कयूं। तेसिताईं पंहिंजो खोड़ सारो ख़्यालु रखो।